What's up, Logos family, YouTube community? It is Tuesday, January 19th, 2021, day 162 since we started e-learning, but it is not stay-at-home e-learning. It is the day, folks. It is officially hybrid e-learning day, our first day with students back in the classroom. So I know some students will still be at home doing this virtually, but we also have students in the classroom for the first time since way back last March. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. Even if you're staying home, it'll be a new change of pace, something new. We'll say this, just a disclaimer: if you will be learning from home today, all 3 days that we attempted to teach from school virtually last week, all 3 days that we attempted it, we failed because the internet crashed. I've been told that the problem is fixed and we shouldn't have any problems today, but I've been told that every other day last week and it still crashed. So I am not optimistic. So just be prepared, right? If the internet at Logos goes down today, those of us who are at Logos will be fine. Those of you who are at home, you'll be fine too, because you guys know where to find the work. If you're in my American history class, the assignments will be right there up on Blackboard like they always have. We are working today on chapter 10, section 2, which is all about the Spanish-American War. So there you go, straightforward, Spanish-American War. So the work will be there for you, whether I'm there or not. Hopefully I will be able to be there virtually, but just be prepared for internet issues for us, right? Shouldn't affect you. And if you're on personal finance, same thing, right? If you're working from home, you know where to go. econlowdown.org. You will find today's assignment right there for you. It's an article that we'll be reading, reading Q&A. And the title of this article is, Will Robots Take Our Jobs? I don't know. I have to read the article to find out. Other than that, again, it's a hybrid day. It's no longer a stay-at-home day. So again, I'm excited. I'm happy. We've finally come to this day. Our current event of the day, not necessarily a happy topic, but it is something I think we need to talk about. You know, in the midst of all this, you know, political turmoil and turmoil surrounding the pandemic, something that many people might not have noticed is the federal government carried out an historic number of executions of people who are on death row for the federal government. Now, we have executions in different states, right? Missouri is a state that has a death penalty. Texas is a state that executes prisoners for the death penalty. Illinois does not have the death penalty. Many states do not have the death penalty. But in certain circumstances, if people are convicted of a federal crime, the federal government does have the death penalty as well. The federal government doesn't use the death penalty very often, or they hadn't in the past. Before last year, the federal government had not executed a prisoner since 2003. And in the midst of, again, you know, issues surrounding the pandemic and just, you know, this overall change in attitudes towards the death penalty, no state in the United States carried out a death penalty, an execution in the past 6 months. But the federal government carried out 13 federal executions during that time. The 13th just happened this past weekend. And again, this was historic. I don't know if you can see. First of all, this gentleman over here is Dustin John Higgs. He was the 13th and final federal inmate executed by the Trump administration. The first was back in July, and they executed 13 people. And again, this is again going against all norms when it comes to the death penalty. You can see this was historic. This was the first time the federal government had executed a woman in almost 70 years. First time they'd executed people who were accused of committing these crimes when they were teenagers in almost 70 years. It was the most executions by the federal government since the 1800s, right? Since the 1890s. It's been, you know, over 100 years since that many people have been executed by the federal government in a single year. So what's my point here, right? We have something in the Constitution, you know, preventing cruel and unusual punishment. And whether or not you think the death penalty is cruel, this application of the death penalty was unusual, right, for today's norms. Why did this happen? Well, President Trump wanted it to happen. And the Supreme Court upheld that this was constitutional, that this did not violate cruel and unusual punishment. I happen to disagree. I am opposed to the death penalty in general, and I would like to see, and I hope to see President Biden, when he becomes president, abolish the federal death penalty. Well, no matter, if you have a different opinion than me, that's your right, right? But just know that we're one of the last countries that still has the death penalty, right? No European countries have the death penalty. The countries that do still carry out executions regularly, along with the United States, are countries that, I don't want to be like, right? Russia, China, Saudi Arabia. I think we're better than that. And I think we can keep people safe and, serve justice without killing people. But that's my opinion. I'd like to know yours. So please let me know. And otherwise, I will see you guys later on today. Peace.